All right, so today we're diving into a side of YouTube most people probably don't think about much, you know?
Yeah, it's not all fun and games.
Exactly. Like, we all love those cute cat videos and those awesome music tutorials, but there's a whole other world going on behind the scenes.
A world of serious competition.
That's putting it mildly. You sent me this New York Times article, and honestly, it's kind of wild. Some of the things these creators do to stay on top.
It can get pretty intense, that's for sure.
So let's break it down before we get into, like, the crazy tactics and all that. Why is it such a dog-eat-dog world on YouTube in the first place? What's the big deal?
Well, first off, you got to remember that for a lot of these creators, YouTube isn't just a hobby.
Right, it's their job.
Exactly. It's their livelihood. We're talking ad revenue, sponsorships, the whole nine yards,
So the more views they get, the more money they make.
basically. And on top of the money, there's also this whole thing about staying relevant.
Oh, yeah, the algorithm.
Yeah, the algorithm, it's like this constant pressure to keep churning out content that people will watch. Otherwise, you just fade into the background.
Like you become yesterday's news.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see how things can get a little,
Well, cutthroat.
yeah, cutthroat's a good word for it.
Yeah.
The article goes into some pretty specific examples of how some creators try to sabotage each other. I mean, we're not just talking about like leaving a mean comment here and there.
Oh, this is next level stuff.
Yeah, for real. Things like false copyright claims just to get a competitor's video taken down,
Wow.
or spreading rumors to try and ruin their reputation. And then there's messing with the algorithm itself, like trying to manipulate keywords and tags to bury someone else's content.
It's like a digital arms race,
Yeah,
constantly trying to one-up each other.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you've got this whole other thing, which honestly is just scary. This thing called swatting.
Yeah, that's the part that really freaked me out. I mean, what kind of person does that?
So basically, swatting is when someone makes a fake emergency call to the police.
Like saying there's a hostage situation or something.
Yeah, something super serious. And they give the police the address of their rival, the person they're trying to target.
So a SWAT team shows up, guns blazing, at some poor, unsuspecting person's house.
Exactly. And that's incredibly dangerous, obviously. It could easily end in tragedy.
The whole thing just seems so messed up. And then there's this weird hypocrisy going on. Like the article talks about how some of the same creators who are engaging in all this shady stuff,
Are also the ones preaching about positivity and community online.
it's like, come on, are you serious? You're out here sabotaging people and then turning around and acting like you're all about love and light.
It's definitely a head scratcher. You have to wonder how much of it is genuine and how much is just putting on a show for the cameras.
Right, like trying to maintain this perfect image while secretly playing dirty behind the scenes.
And I think that kind of behavior has a real impact on the whole YouTube community.
In what way?
It creates this atmosphere of distrust, like you can't really be sure who's genuine anymore.
And if everyone's constantly looking over their shoulder, worried about being sabotaged,
It makes it hard to really connect and collaborate.
yeah, just poisons the whole vibe. So what's the solution here? Is there any way to clean up this mess?
Well, the article suggests that both YouTube and the creators themselves need to step up and take more responsibility.
So, like, YouTube needs to crack down harder on people who are breaking the rules.
Exactly, enforce the community guidelines more strictly. And creators need to, well, be better.
Like, maybe focus more on making great content and less on taking each other down.
Right. It's about fostering a culture where success comes from being creative and authentic, not from playing dirty.
That makes a lot of sense.
Huh.
But as viewers, like, what can we do? I mean, we're not the ones making the rules or running the channels.
That's a good question. And I think it's worth thinking about. Are we, maybe without realizing it, supporting creators who engage in this kind of behavior?
Like, if we watch their videos or click on their ads,
Yeah, are we contributing to the problem? It's something to consider as we continue to watch and engage with content on YouTube. What kind of community do we want to be a part of?
that's a great question to leave everyone with. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And to all you listeners out there, remember, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay awesome.
And stay ethical.
Yeah, that too.